Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the breaking news in the Creature Commandos series. We have just seen the Batman make his DCU debut on episode 6, and the title for this episode is Parietal Skelet. So in the show, we did see the Batman and his silhouette on the rooftop and was prepared to face against Doctor Phosphorus. A interview has also just been posted about James Gunn speaking about the Batman in the DCU, and he confirmed that the Batman already exists in the DCU, very similar to what he is doing with Superman in the upcoming film coming later in the summer of 2025. So Batman is clearly an established presence in this universe, and James Gunn has also said that there won't be any origin story because we have seen it way too many times in the past 20 to 25 years. Once we do see a live action Batman in the DCU, we will be getting a Batman that will be in his late 30s, and that is because of the storyline James Gunn wants to tell, with the Batman being paired up with Damian Wayne, who is his son of course. Later down that storyline, we're also going to be meeting up with the Bat family, which is also something that we have never seen in live action. So that should be very, very exciting. So we are going to be discussing what the cameo does mean in just a few minutes. I quickly want to give a brief summary about what this episode was all about. I'm not going to give out like very key elements, spoilery type of stuff, because I still want you guys to go watch this episode, but we are going to briefly talk about it. So once again, the show is called Creature Commandos, episode 6, titled Parietal Skelet, and we do get the origin story of Doctor Phosphorus. The episode does delve into the tragic backstory of Doctor Phosphorus. His real name is Alexander James Sartorius, who is known as a brilliant scientist, but is also betrayed by a crime boss, Rupert Thorne. Thorne's men later did murder Dr. Phosphorus' family, which was once again ordered by crime boss Rupert Thorne. So he killed his wife and son, and he trapped Alexander Sartorius in a nuclear testing vault. And that radiation that he did receive in the vault is what made him transform into Dr. Phosphorus, which is a radioactive skeleton. And that is how he basically became a metahuman. This storyline that we did see in the episode did showcase his revenge and his rise to power, because we later on did see Dr. Phosphorus wanting to kill Thorne, and later on went on to kill his entire family. Basically what Rupert Thorne did to him, he did the exact same thing back. Later in the story, he does take on control of Thorne's criminal empire in Gotham City. Everybody that worked under Thorne were very afraid on who Dr. Phosphorus was. They have literally just given up anything going up against him, and they said, okay, you want to do this? No problem. They got nervous and were like, oh my god, this storyline is looking very similar to what we saw with the Penguin that was created by Matt Reeves, his rise to power and taking control of all of the men in Gotham City. So this episode did show his rapid ascension in Gotham's criminal hierarchy, and later in the episode, while he was becoming the almighty villain, that is when the Batman did appear. And once again, we only saw his silhouette, but based off the image that was shown, you can see that there is some blue colors surrounding him, meaning that most likely the DCU Batman that we will be getting is a Batman that is not in all black, but a Batman that is in gray and blue with the gold belt. And let me tell you, if James Gunn can introduce this Batman into live action with these colors on his suit, it's going to look goddamn amazing. Because another thing that I have noticed about this silhouette is that he's very muscular, very big, very monstrous. So he looks much more like Zack Snyder's The Batman than Matt Reeves' The Batman. Matt Reeves' The Batman is a little skinnier, a little wonkier, maybe smarter, we could say, but definitely Matt Reeves' Batman is not muscular, monstrous like Zack Snyder's The Batman. Looking at James Gunn's version of the Batman, it's like an extension of whatever Zack Snyder's Batman was. We will be getting a Batman that is mystical, that is fantastical, a Batman that can beat anybody, and is by no means a realistic version of the Batman. He is nowhere near the Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight. This is a guy that can literally face Superman if he ever wanted to in the future. So we are going to be getting a badass Batman just straight out of the origin story in the middle of his Bat era with the Bat family, with Damian Wayne. He's muscular, he's tall, he brings fear into other people's eyes. I can't wait to see this in live action. We are definitely going to be getting into brand new adventures. I also believe that this could be one of the ways James Gunn is going to tackle how the Batman under Matt Reeves is very different to the Batman under James Gunn. It's going to be through visual distinction, because like I've said, the Batman that was shown in Creature Commandos, he's visually distinct from Robert Pattinson's portrayal. He also has a longer cape, the utility of the belt. He does have a much sturdier build. The design choice clearly does separate DCU Batman from the other recent iterations. Also, because this is our Batman in the DCU, whatever does happen in Creature Commandos, it's going to have consequences that ripple through other stories and characters in this universe. So Dr. Phosphorus will also be a live action villain that we will see later down the line. James Gunn has also said that this version of the Batman will play a very important part of this universe, and this was just a teaser, and a larger role is going to be coming up in future projects. We also do have Tom King, who is a DC Comics and DC Studios writer. He also revealed that Dr. Phosphorus is set to appear in a future DCU movie, so the character could serve as a reoccurring antagonist and potentially crossing paths with Batman again. Going back to Gunn, he has also expressed his excitement about the future of the Batman in the DCU, and he stated, "This is the DCU Batman. We're going to do great things with him. I can't wait for people to see more of him along with Superman and together." I gotta tell you, I love him. I loved him since I was a little kid. He's one of my favorite characters. So this is basically James Gunn confirming that we will be seeing the Batman and Superman in one film. Most likely it is going to be a team up, and most likely the storyline that we are going to be seeing is World's Finest, which is something that we have been dying to see for the past few years. So it is a great time to be a Batman fan. As for the release strategy on what we could see for the next 3 or 4 years, like which movie is going to be coming out first, it's very unclear at the moment because the only thing that we know right now is that the Batman the Brave and the Bold, held by James Gunn, it is postponed. We don't know when exactly that film is going to be releasing, but for sure when it comes to the Batman Part 2, held by Matt Reeves, that will be releasing on October 1st, 2027. So both films have been postponed, but they're both moving forward. What most likely is going to happen for the next 2 or 3 years, let's just say from January 2025 up until 2027, through these months and years, we're probably going to see more of James Gunn's Batman. First, we have seen his appearance in Creature Commandos episode 6. Most likely we could see him in live action, maybe serving as a cameo in other DCU projects. It could be in the Lanterns. It could be in the Superman movie coming this summer. It could also be in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. The possibilities are endless. We can also see the Batman being referenced by other superheroes. He could be referenced by Superman. He could be referenced by a Lanterns character or by Lex Luthor. We never know. They can do so many things within the next 2 years. We don't have to wait for a solo project of the Batman. So through 2025 and 2026, there is going to be most likely possible cameos or references of the DCU Batman. Then by October 1st, 2027, we will be seeing the Batman Part 2, and then most likely possibly next year, which could be 2028, we do get our first Batman project, which will be the Batman the Brave and the Bold. As for the fan casting, we don't know exactly who is going to be playing the Batman. The only thing that we do know is that Alan Ritchson has been one of the favorites. If anything, this is pure fan casting. There hasn't been any rumors or any reports about James Gunn specifically saying that Alan Ritchson does have the role to play the Batman, but if you look at the guy, you look at his height, he's 6'3", tall frame, muscular frame, he would be the perfect casting to play the Batman. David Cornsweet is 6'4", so they're going to be matching in height. In front of the camera, both the Batman and Superman are going to be looking very menacing because of their tall frame. Alan Ritchson has also expressed a lot of interest and enthusiasm on playing the Batman. He did say that he would love to play Bruce Wayne. This is a very similar situation to what Jason Momoa had said about Lobo and how he would love to play the character because he believes that he can tackle that type of role. With Alan Ritchson, we're getting the exact same feeling. Knowing James Gunn, knowing that he just like to hear his fans, and also what the actors do say, there is a very big possibility that we could see in the very near future that Alan Ritchson could be our Batman. It all started with Aaron Pierre, who is going to be one of the Lanterns, also known as Jon Stewart, which is the perfect casting and something that we have been wanting before the casting has been made. It got followed up with Jason Momoa as Lobo instead of Aquaman. Once again, also us wanting to see Jason Momoa as Lobo, and a couple of months later, it actually happened. Could we see Alan Ritchson as the Batman later down this year? And so that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.